挣脱的黑夜手一盏骨头。
In 2018, official newspaper of the Chinese Communist Party, People's Daily, published an article listing 12 characteristics of cult organizations. Number 1, thought control, unifying and controlling thoughts, cultivating cult successors and supporters, regarding all other schools of thought as heretics and ones to be combated and eliminated. Number 2, information control. Number 3, demonizing the outside world. Number 4, mythologizing cult leader and organization. Number 5, controlling activity area. If members wish to move from one area to another, approval must be obtained in advance. Number 6, sect control. Other sects must be approved before they can be established. Number 7, survival resource control. Any behavior that is detrimental to the cult organization will not be tolerated. Number 8, coercive membership. Deceiving people since their early years, using various survival resources to induce non-believers to swear to join the cult, forcing them to remain loyal. Number 9, privatizing violent institutions. Cultivating a large number of machine-like individuals without independent thinking and the ability to judge. Number 10, fictionalizing disasters and beautifying the future. Fictionalizing the outside world as disastrous. Propagating the chaos will follow without the existence of the cult, and a bright future awaits ahead under the cult's leadership. Number 11, harming lives. Number 12, core members are the richest. Someone said, these are clearly the CCP's self-introduction. Zhang Zhan, a citizen journalist who used to follow and report on the coronavirus situation on the streets of Wuhan, once said, I didn't dare to say that the CCP was a cult because I was afraid. Now I really can't care that much anymore. What I have observed is that people have objectively feared the CCP to the point that they would rather die than resist. The CCP is more frightening than death, because it often threatens not only the survival of individuals, but also a family and several families involved. Thus, how can the CCP not be a cult? Zhang Zhan once spoke up for Dr. Li Wenliang, citizen journalists Chen Qiushi, Li Zehua, and Feng Bin, as well as public welfare and freedom. Now that Zhang Zhan is persecuted by the CCP, she can no longer use her voice. But we need to amplify it to make sure that it is heard by more. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo recently tweeted, the Chinese Communist Party knew how virulent the coronavirus was. They censored and disappeared whistleblowers and journalists who tried to sound the alarm. The CCP is a culprit for a global pandemic that's killed more than 200,000 Americans and nearly 1 million people worldwide. It was said that the news that the Trumps were infected with the CCP virus has gone viral on Chinese internet, with keyword tags being read 750 million times. Chinese netizens, such as the two in the video, also claimed that Trump's diagnosis was a gift for China.
举国欢庆，普天同庆，非常非常好，这是特朗普给中国的一个献礼。
They said, this is worth celebrating nationwide and worldwide. This is a gift from Trump to China. The group of people holding the banner said, congratulations to the Trumps for contracting COVID-19. This coffee shop sign reads, in order to express support for President Trump for contracting COVID-19, all customers will receive an Americano for free. Someone said, these are the results of the CCP's 7 decades of hate education campaign against the US and other Western democracies. Someone said, this also shows that the people in mainland China have been poisoned by the CCP to the most terrifying degree. Someone said, the real situation is that those who dare to speak the truth have been blocked by Weibo and WeChat. Those whose voices can be heard online are the real rumor mongers. Someone said, in fact, it is not that serious. I have a WeChat friend circle with more than 1,000 people. There were less than 10 people celebrating the CCP's so-called National Day. Only one person cheered Trump for being infected. It's just an illusion that there are many who actively expressed satisfaction for seeing Trump contracting COVID-19. It should be a falsified momentum intentionally built by the CCP's 50-cent army. Someone said, online comments cannot reflect the true public opinion of mainland Chinese people, because those who spoke up for truth have been arrested. Those who frantically reply to posts with party rhetoric are mostly prisoners trying to make money as online commentators. Sima Nan, Chinese social commentator, well known for his support of the Chinese government. After learning of the news, he said, "First of all, we must express appreciation. This is a special gift for China's birthday. And second, I remembered I recently made a video titled, 'If Trump is Infected.' Someone shared that Sima Nan just sold a house that he has in California. He should still be in the US now." The CCP claimed that it is not trying to be an enemy of the US, but Sima Nan told the truth. In the video is Huang, a well-known Chinese media figure. Here's how she reacted to the news about Trump.
特朗普和他的夫人米拉尼亚全部确诊是新冠肺炎。
She said Trump and his wife were both diagnosed with COVID-19.
自己呢，就是这个东西来得太突然，我也真的没有什么预料，就说啊，他会不会突然来这么一招？
I just felt that this news came too suddenly. I really didn't expect it. In other words, is this possibly a trick that Trump decided to use to disguise the public?
但是我要是仔细想一想吧，这招呢还挺对的，因为不管特朗普有没有得新冠肺炎，他现在都应该得新冠肺炎。
But if I think about it carefully, this trick is quite right. Because regardless of whether Trump has COVID-19 or not, he should be infected now. Someone said in 1974, Huang was a training target for the reserve personnel of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Communist Party of China. When she was only 12 years old, she was sent to the US to study as a high-ranking official's child and became one of the first members of the CCP elite's children to receive an American education. Someone said, "It's truly sad to see how one can be distorted to this extent under communist rule. I feel unfortunate not only for her, but the entire Chinese nation." Someone said, "When people become really inferior, there is no other pleasure except to pretend to be happy about others' misfortunes." Someone shared on Chinese Weibo, "The differences between those on the left and the right can be seen through their reactions to some recent events. When Justice Ginsburg passed away 2 weeks ago, even though those on the right did not agree with her views and historical rulings, they showed the highest respect. After Trump was infected, many left-wing radicals, whether they are living in China or overseas, began to cheer. When reactions from the two sides are compared, everything should be clear to a rational person." Someone said, under Trump's tweet announcing that he was infected, many people cursed him with special language, and the accompanying pictures were also extremely creepy. After reading those posts, I felt really uncomfortable. This is definitely not a coincidence. Someone said, "I thought my phone was broken, so I saw garbled messages. I realized that wasn't the case when I saw the picture of the devil and the hexagram." Someone said, "Since the pandemic outbreak, many high-ranking officials around the world have been infected, but we've hardly heard of any CCP officials being infected." In view of the current situation in which the US and Chinese militaries are imaginary enemies to each other, some media have raised the question of the probability of war. After Trump was infected with the virus, some people believe that the chance is very high. Someone also cited the example of Japan's attack on Pearl Harbor and said, "After the attack, the whole country was joyous. But then Marshal Admiral of the Imperial Japanese Navy was very worried and paid much attention to the weather forecast every day. Many people did not understand. He said that when the weather is clear, the American side will definitely take revenge." Someone shared that the patches on US airmen's uniforms are showing a map of China with drones hovering over it. Someone said, "It is clear the US Air Force are keeping a close eye on China." Someone said, "These patches may have the power of spells."
Child, we will take you in. Child, we will bring you home. You'll be a flower that sees the spring.